Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Deck Reviews. This is where we review decks from all around the world, mass market as well as indie and also Kickstarter. Sit back guys, relax and enjoy the up and coming review. Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Deck Reviews. Got another review for you today. We're looking at the Elemental Wisdom Tarot by Taroteka Studios. Now, if you guys remember the Dark Mansion Tarot from last year or the year before, it might have been 2 years ago. Thought I'd just get in what they'd done before. So this was the Dark Mansion Tarot. I think this was 2018. 2-3 years ago maybe this deck was created. Definitely one of my most favourite decks. Well, they've created a new deck, the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. So we're looking at 78 cards, obviously, each one of them depicting the element of the suit. So wands, fire, cups, water, pentacles, earth, and swords, air. Comes in a sort of, I don't know what you would call this, a clasp box. This, by the way, if it looks a little bit, hopefully it doesn't look scruffy on the sides or anything. I've had this since the 24th of December 2020. I've actually got 3 of these decks. One that was gifted to me from my family. One that they actually sent me because this one initially didn't arrive. I'd ordered this all the way back in October. It took ages to arrive. I'm still waiting for them to get back to me so that we can arrange payment for the second deck that they actually sent through to me. But yeah, I've got like, I gifted one to my twin sister because she really wanted one, and I've got 2 here. So yeah, comes in sort of a class. But what I notice is that the box that they delivered the Dark Mansion Tarot in, if I'm being honest, a little bit better quality, I think. It just looks a bit more sturdier, and you can see that the designs are very sort of different in a way. Yeah. So this, to me, this just looked a little bit more, I don't know whether to call it authentic or a little bit more charming, the way that they'd designed this. But at the time I had the large size edition of the Dark Mansion Tarot, and I've ordered the large sized edition of the Elemental Wisdom Tarot, which comes in, I think they call it a clasp box. That's what I think they call it. Maybe. I could be wrong, because somebody tell me what this type of box is called. Yeah, it's alright, not bad at all. At first when I received it, I thought, well, this looks a little bit flimsy, but actually it's not too bad, so yeah. I think this is this the Empress? This might be the Empress. I'm not sure who this is on the front of the deck. What lady this is, I can't remember. It might be the Empress. Anyway, let's get down to have a look at the cards. So this is the large edition. Obviously, it's not your standard. You can get the standard size if you want. So that would be sort of a size like this. I'm just going to show you my Gregory Scott Tarot and the size of this. That would kind of be your standard size tarot card. So you can get this particular deck in the standard size. It might actually be a tad wider than this one, but as you can see, the size is huge. If you compare it to this, the size is actually quite huge, so that's quite nice. I like larger cards anyway. I don't know what it is. I've always liked larger size decks. This cost me in sterling, about with packaging and with package and posting. It cost me, and it was for tracking. It cost me altogether. The deck actually cost me. How much did the deck cost me? I think the deck might have cost me about £68. And then there's an additional sort of £10 on top for packaging and stuff. Sorry, not packaging, for posting. So all in all, I paid about £78 for the whole thing. Which, to be honest with you, with Taroteka decks, I think is quite reasonable, because they do design some very delicious decks. Quality of the deck, guys, is brilliant, as usual. What else can you expect? This is about a 350 GSM, I would guess. Maybe 400. 350, 400 GSM. It's very buttery. It's not as, I mean, I think the smaller deck of the Dark Mansion Tarot that I've got, the standard deck, I was really, I mean, deck's quality, but the finish, which I think was kind of like a butter silk or something like that, can't quite remember, it was very waxy and really difficult to shuffle. This is not difficult to shuffle again at all. This is kind of very, it's obviously matte, but it's very, feels very silky at the same time. So there's a beautiful shuffle on this. I don't riffle shuffle my cards, but for any of you guys that want to riffle shuffle, and you can riffle shuffle a large deck if you can, I should imagine it would be easy to do so. The actual quality is really beautiful. I'm not really that bothered about backs of cards. I've got to be honest. It's something I don't really talk about in reviews. But yeah, it's a beautiful back. It's nice. Yeah, it's pleasant. Very nice. Very kind of authentic and sort of very kind of oldie looking. Beautiful. Okay, let's go through the cards then, guys. We want to try and keep this at a reasonable length time review. Let's have a look at the majors first. So I'm going to hone in the camera. Let's get a little bit closer up here. Let's move this along like so, so that you guys can see. So yeah, we've had the Fool card first. Beautiful, really love that. I love the way the dog is jumping up. But the Fool, what I love about this Fool is the abandonment, the real feeling that you get of abandonment with that card. He's got this trumpet in his hand. He's got a pair of, I don't know whether they're kind of like is there anything called maracas, or you know, those shaky things you get in his hands. It's almost like he's dancing. There's a beautiful dance going on here. There's an absolute sense of joy. He also looks a little bit like a court jester at the same time. Really, really like the depiction of this Fool. He's not just taking a leap into faith. I mean, he's on a wall. He could easily fall down, but there's just complete abandonment here and joy, which I really love with this card, and the fact that he seems to be dancing and playing music as well. I don't know whether, yeah, this is definitely a musical instrument he's got in his hands there, along with the trumpet. Very nice. The Magician. Beautiful. Lovely. I love the electricity behind the Magician, like he's generating this electricity. He is ruled by Mercury after all, I suppose. Beautiful. The High Priestess. Some of you guys, if you've already got this deck, you'll notice that there's a printing error on Priestess. No, on High, sorry. They've spelt it sort of HGIH. I do know that they're sending out, if you email them, if you've already got the deck and you've got the printing error, all you need to do is email them and they'll send you out a replacement card. Okay, but no printing error on this one. Beautiful. Let me just try and hone it a little bit more. I want it to get a bit closer in on those cards. There we go. Lovely. So yeah, High Priestess. Have the pomegranates around her, her book, the moon. She looks like she's about to give birth for some reason as well. Very interesting. The Empress. Gorgeous. She's probably one of my most favourite cards in the deck, to be honest with you. Just the way that she sits in her fine, in her fine clothes, in this very lavish and abundant setting, which is what I really appreciate. The Emperor. Strong. Very, very structured the way that he stands. Very ordered, very assertive in the way that he looks. Very strong lines with this image. The Hierophant, beautiful. The Lovers, oh, I love that, gorgeous. My only issue is, I mean, we'll speak about it in a moment. I don't know whether there's much diversity in the majors. They all seem to be, of one colour, which is fair enough. I mean, do we always have to have all of this diversity in decks? That's a question to ask, I guess. Is it always necessary? Does it always have to be the case? I don't know. And it depends also where the person's coming from. But yeah, interesting. Very nice. The Chariot. I really love this deck though, man. This deck is awesome. It's just beautiful. Look at it. Look at that. Wow. Look at this man. He must be something from Game of Thrones, but showing himself to be very much in control of these walls. Strength. I mean, it's obviously Rider-Waite clone. So Rider-Waite clone, this deck, for me. Because the imagery is so similar to the Rider-Waite. But I do love it. And what I like about this particular depiction of strength, guys, is that the lion is literally on her body. Usually you have on strength, depictions of the strength card, usually a woman, I find as well, holding a lion, or holding its head, or holding its mouth, or holding it on a leash or something like that. On here, she's just, they're almost together, they're almost one. It's just a really gentle approach, which is what I quite like. The Hermit, very nice, very standard. I thought you could have got this in any deck. You know, it's nice though. Looking at the bird, birds for me are all about wisdom as well, which is what the Hermit is. Finding your inner light, finding your inner wisdom. The Wheel of Fortune, not my most favourite depiction of the wheel. Nice, but nothing spectacular there. Justice, blind justice, beautiful. Love this. Impartiality, gorgeous. Really, it's just such a strong image. Such a strong image, amazing. I've actually been working with this deck with private clients for the last few weeks, but I didn't want to really use it on YouTube for the week ahead that I've just put up, because I really wanted to show it on a review. I've got loads of decks to review that I can't use yet on my channel, because I want you guys to see them. The Hangman. It's almost like he's a part of the tree. He is actually, I'm sure, he's coming out of the branches of this tree. The Hangman always reminds me of a slow birth, rebirth. If you look at it, it's in the position of the birthing channel. Death. Yeah, not one of my most favourite depictions of death on this card, if I'm being completely honest with you. I just thought it was a bit meh. Nice enough, but a bit meh. Thought that death is like I'm a Scorpio, so this is my major arcana, so I have this really strong affinity to this card, and I always expect something spectacular from it, but this wasn't particularly spectacular. But it was nice, but it could, again, I'm looking for spectacular. I'm not looking for something that could be on any deck, but it's okay enough. Temperance, nice enough, pleasant. The Devil. Yeah, I love the depiction of the lady bound. This is what I like. That devil looks pretty scary. The legs look very spidery and spindly. I do like this depiction, but this is an extraordinarily scary devil for me, to be perfectly honest with you. And this woman who is bound and naked as well on the card. It's almost like she's either subservient to him, or it doesn't even feel like it doesn't feel on this particular depiction of the devil like this woman is where she wants to be. Usually I find with the devil, depiction of the devil on various decks, that the people there look like they're there because they want to be there. They could easily leave, but she looks like she literally has no choice. She looks very, but then again, one of the meanings I could derive from this is being in subservience to our desires, being subservient to our desires. The devil represents desire, and this is definitely somebody who's very subservient. She's vulnerable as well, because she's naked. Naked people on cards mean vulnerability often. Nice depiction, I quite like this very much. The Tower, gorgeous, very nice. I don't think there's anybody falling from this tower, but it doesn't matter, it's nice. Being struck by lightning, about to crumble. The Star. It's nice. She's not a naked lady this time on here, she's dressed. I really like it. And also what I noticed is she doesn't have 2 vials of water that she's pouring back into the stream. She has 1 vial that's poured back into the stream, and she's also got her hand on this pot here. Looks like she poured water in there. Maybe she's getting ready to open that and pour that down too. I really like this depiction. There's something very serene about this depiction of the star, which I find to be very beautiful. Very beautiful indeed. Let's make sure I've got the right cards out. Yeah. They're so thick, sometimes you think you've got 2 together when it's 1. The moon. Oh, this is definitely one of my most favourite cards in this deck. For sure. Gorgeous. Oh, loving this moon. Just beautiful. I mean, you know, I've got to be honest. The majors do show the body beautiful. Everybody looks very beautiful in these majors. But then again, I think, well, you know, there's a lot of people that say, oh, it's the deck is too perfect, or, you know, the imagery is too perfect. People looking body beautiful. But then why not? Do we have to have diversity on every single deck? That's the thing. You know, I think we have a lot of beautiful diverse decks, like Poppy Palin's Everyday Enchantment Tarot. I'm about to do another review of another deck. I think it's called the Cosmic Sagas. I've got it on my desk at the moment. I can't do it just yet though. Got to finish this one first. But there are certain decks that do offend me when they just look at the body beautiful. And there are certain decks that don't. This is one that doesn't really offend me that much in terms of that. I think for me, I can just admire the art for what it is. And this is a very beautiful depiction of the moon to me. And I'm not surprised that there's a female on here either, because the moon is feminine energy. Beautiful. The sun. I love this. A little baby. Baby is fully clothed. A lot of people are offended when the baby's naked on the card. I can understand that one. I think this is such a... I love this sun, the way it smiles. This just looks filled with optimism and joy, which is what the sun is. Do you know what I find a lot these days as well with deck creators? They really create decks where people can feel from the card. You look at the imagery and it's just about the energy that you get from that card, which is what I think that these deck creators, especially in this particular deck, are so good at doing. Beautiful, stunning. Judgment. Okay, very nice. I'm not really getting much from this except that there's an angel on the deck, on the card. It's nice. It is beautiful. An angel coming out of the clouds. Reminds me slightly of some stories in the Book of Revelation, but we won't get religious now because some of you guys may not appreciate that, but it's very nice. And the world. I love this world energy showing here. This lady on the world, she's not in a circle, but she's got all these rainbow colours around her. In fact, she's completely sort of... I've just noticed the snake around the world as well, which is interesting. But this looks like a party to me. It looks like a celebration. And the world indeed, besides meaning ending of a cycle, it is a celebration. When you come to finally the end of a journey or the end of a goal, or you've accomplished something or you've gained something, that's the world card for you. Success is the word, the ultimate success. And it just looks like she's dancing and she's celebrating, which I think is beautiful. This is so vibrant, so beautiful. Wow, I'm just in love with this world card. It's one of my favourite cards within the deck for sure. Right, let's have a look at the minors. Starting with the aces, the Ace of Wands. Nice. You know what I love about Taroteka Studios decks? They're simple. Like, the image is simple. Like, the type of decks that I go for and that I'm attracted to are decks that tell a story very simply. Or decks that you can imprint the story on because they're so simple in terms of how they're conveyed. I'm not into all of the abstract stuff, you know. There's certain decks I wouldn't buy at all because it would just do my head in. But I really like the idea, the fact that this is very sort of Rider-Waite based. It must be because the imagery is very similar. But yet it's very simple in what they convey and yet so intricate in terms of how they convey the artwork. It's just really nice. I love this Ace of Wands. There's all these flames coming up as well. passion and inspiration, the Ace of Wands, and even anger. The Two of Wands. Okay, so we have a dark-skinned individual. Which isn't a bad thing. She's got the world in her hands. I just wonder why... this is the second deck I've kind of reviewed today that has dark-skinned people for the Wands. I actually thought that Pentacles were meant to be dark-skinned people within the Tarot and not necessarily Wands. I actually thought Wands were meant to be red-haired. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I suppose they're kind of looking at Africa and stuff like that, heat and blah blah. Not sure, but yeah, I often see Wands. I think, yeah, second deck today reviewed, dark-skinned people on it. Interesting. Not that I'm saying anything about that at all. It actually doesn't bother me. I just thought it was very interesting. Three of Wands. Nice. She doesn't look necessarily dark-skinned, does she? She looks like a Caucasian lady with braids. It really doesn't matter, does it? At all. Not really. Seriously doesn't. It's just very, very nice. The imagery is beautiful. I'm definitely going to get the smaller deck. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me to let me know how I can pay for the second deck. I don't want to pay for another deck and have them send me another deck through. I want to pay for the additional deck that they sent me. So I'm just waiting for them to contact me and then I can order my smaller deck. Beautiful. Ships coming in or waiting. Four of Wands. Nice. Four Wands. A garland of flowers. The marriage card. The celebration card. The event card. The gathering card. Five of Wands. You know what? What's so interesting about this particular Five of Wands? It reminds me of people who are joining forces rather than fighting. And I think what's interesting with Taroteka as well is that they never seem to they don't seem to provide you with a booklet of anything. So it really is down to you to use your intuition on these cards. 100%. 100% with the Five of Wands on here. With any of those the cards, if you thought to yourself, is this people fighting or joining forces? It's interesting. But you are left completely to your own devices with the Taroteka deck, which I think is great. I don't read the books or the white books anyway when I get new decks. I just go with what I feel. Six of Wands. Oh, she looks amazing, doesn't she? Victorious. Confident. Powerful. Beautiful. She knows who she is, doesn't she? Look at that face. She's like, I'm all that. End off. Gorgeous. Seven of Wands. A lot of these are females, I'm noticing on this deck. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But it hasn't been expressed to be a particularly feminine deck. Which is interesting. But I'm noticing a lot of feminine energy, feminine imagery on these cards. Yeah, Seven of Wands, interesting. Defending one's territory. But what's interesting, I think, with this Seven of Wands is usually on Seven of Wands, the wands are usually in front. Usually you see the wands in front and somebody who's defending themselves. But it's almost like with the one wand in front of her, that tells the story. The other ones behind her almost feel like they're just a backdrop. But, you know, if anything with the Taroteka deck, it's just about appreciating the beauty of the card as far as I'm concerned. The Eight of Wands, gorgeous. Nine of Wands, another female. Definitely don't mess with this woman, man. And look at her wand. She's got like claws on it. There's like claws. She's like, you mess with me, you're done. The Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands, very, very similar in terms of the ideology behind those cards as far as I'm concerned. Both about protecting one's territory. Nine of Wands often about the bodyguard. Look at how she's guarding her territory here. She's not letting anybody in. Ten of Wands, another female, I believe, on the card. Fine. Burdens, struggles. reminds me of an uphill struggle because she's walking uphill and she has all these wands in her hand. Page of Wands. The imagery, for me, it's just breathtaking. Even if you did feel a way about certain things with this deck, you can't deny that the imagery is really, really stunning. I mean, I can't get my breath. Whenever I look at these cards, I'm smiling all the way from the inside. I really like Taroteka stuff. I really do. And they've got a couple more decks coming out. One this year, one in 2022. These guys are good at what they do. Very, very, very good at what they do. Knight of Wands. Yeah. Nice. Nice. I'm just going to go with the imagery. I'm not going to start talking about, you know, race and all the rest of it. What's the point? Why bother? It is just a card after all. Some of you might disagree with me, but we're not going to get into any political talk here. I'm just going to admire the imagery for what it is, and I think the imagery is pretty damn good. Queen of Wands. Oh man. Sorry, but I'm just like completely breathless and taken aback by the art. I mean, how long it must have taken these guys to do this art. It really is good. It's just good. And I think for anyone who is a tarot collector like myself, you always appreciate what is absolute good. That's why I've not reviewed any mass market decks. I've just been reviewing, or I'm just planning at the minute to review indie decks. And I'm going to be buying Kickstarter as well. I haven't bought Kickstarter yet because I'm an impatient git. And I don't want to have to wait. I hate wait. I've had to wait long enough for a lot of these indie decks that came through, you know. But when you get them, you just, all of that kind of annoyance that having to wait just fades away because you just realise why you bought it in the first place, and that's because of the sheer quality. Nearly £80 on this deck, and I don't regret a single penny because it's very good. King of Wands. Nice. Look at all this detail, the gold jewellery, the headdress, the shield. He hasn't got a spear, obviously, he's got a wand. Gorgeous. Sat on his throne. There's a regal look, obviously, to this gentleman. He knows of his own importance. And that's the King of Wands as well for you. The King of Wands is very bolshy and very braggadocious at times, and he knows he's a good-looking guy. This guy knows he's a good-looking guy. He's like, I know. Right, let's now look at the cups. So we're looking at the element of water. So a lot of the scenery, or all of the scenery on these cards, is to do with the sea. So we have the Ace of Cups and the fish flowing out. I love this. There is a sense of, I think what would have made it even better is if they had water coming from the top as well, to be honest with you. That sense of abundance there, but it's beautiful nevertheless. The Two of Cups. Mermaids. Merman, merwoman. Gorgeous. Oh, I love this. The Three of Cups. So nice. Yeah, I mean, they've based all of the cups on merwomen and merwomen and mermen, because remember it's the elemental tarot. So we depict cups with water. Gorgeous, nice. Three friends. They look like triplets, don't they? Four of Cups. The only thing I mean, it's an interesting thing, because when I looked at this, I thought, it doesn't feel to me like she's saying no to anything. Because one of the meanings of the Four of Cups is disinterest. But she probably is. If you look at the hand, she's like, nah, not interested. And it's interesting because she's not just the cups, I think. All of the jewellery she's got there, she's kind of like, nope, not really that bothered, not interested. Maybe it's because she's got enough. So in a way, I think it's the hand that gives it away on this particular card. Five of Cups. Yeah, there isn't a real sadness here. There's a real sense of loss and disappointment. I love the way that they've depicted the face on this lady here. And the cups downturned. Six of Cups. You know, you can read Six of Cups in many ways. Sometimes when you get the Six of Cups, you can see an image on various other decks. You'll see the image of children or grandparents or people who are really close, because one of the meanings of the Six of Cups is family and close relationships, soulmate relationships, which you can have with anyone, whether it be a lover or a brother or a sister or a mum or a dad. You know, you can have a soulmate relationship with anyone. Or reminiscing. She might even be reminiscing as well. But also I think when I look at this Six of Cups, there is an element of fantasy that comes to me with this card. She looks like she's in a bit of a fantasy, or she's daydreaming as well. Very nice. Seven of Cups, choices, illusion. Eight of Cups. I think this is my least favourite Eight of Cups, or my least favourite card in the deck. I'm not very keen on this. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's been drawn. I don't like the look of her. I just don't like the way the way it looks. And also the cups are kind of in front of her. I would have preferred it if they were behind her. Even if they'd have done something like the image of the woman swimming away and then the Eight of Cups behind, kind of floating away into the abyss or something, I'd have appreciated it. I look at this and I think, well, what was the point? But you know, we all have cards that we don't like within the deck. The majority of these cards are nice. The Nine. This is definitely a favourite of mine in the deck. Just wild abandonment, contentment and joy and happiness, which is what the Nine of Cups is. Nine of Cups is having it all. It's the cat that got the cream. It's the smug card. She's really living her best life, which is what the Nine of Cups is. Sheer satisfaction on this card. And the Ten of Cups, very nice indeed, beautiful. Two people together who love one another. There is a sense of fulfillment here. There's real fulfillment between these two people here, which is what the Ten of Cups is, emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. Very nice. Right, let's go to the page. Yeah, I like this page. Nice. I do like the page. Very, very nice. Very buff, I find this page actually. And he's wearing this nice hat. Yeah, I think this is a nice depiction of the Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups, the older brother. Yeah, very gallant, very handsome. Sat on a dolphin, I think. I love this Queen of Cups. What a beauty. Isn't she gorgeous? It's the level of detail in their cards that really amazes me every time I pick up a Tarot Tekka deck. This is the second deck that I've picked up from them. And I just wasn't disappointed when I got it at all. It's the craftsmanship that goes into their decks. That's the thing. It's the absolute craftsmanship. You just can't beat it. For me, you just can't beat it. You can't. There's no way you can beat this. It's good. It's just good. Good quality. The King of Cups. He looks a bit old for her, doesn't he? Look at him. Look at them together. He looks like a dad. But anyway, it's nice. Nice. I don't like the beard. It doesn't even look like a beard. It looks like he's got something wrong with his chin. But anyway, it's a nice depiction. It's nice. Strength and emotional control, which is what the King of Cups is. He's very emotionally astute and intelligent and controlled. Compassionate and kind, but very level-headed. Let's have a look at the Pentacles. Ace of Coins. Nice, beautiful. The Two of Coins. The balancing act. And what I like about this as well is she's not just trying to balance the Two Pentacles, she's trying to balance her feet. One is on this little piece of wood or rock and the other one is off. So she's having to balance everything. She's playing a game of agility, really. But she's not letting it show. All of that water is behind her, so she's blocking out her emotions here. There's a very concentrated look about this character that I really like. We also have is it the Luminosate? I can never pronounce it. The number 8. The infinity symbol that goes around here as well. Three of Coins. Nice. The more decks that I buy, the more I notice that they're just doing Three of Coins with one person on it. So this is the skilled craftsman. He's not, his work isn't really being assessed here. Usually you get two other people and they're assessing the skilled person's work. But this is someone who's just kind of perfecting his art, perfecting his work. I really like the way that this looks. Four of Coins. This is definitely one of my... It's funny because with the Dark Mansion Tarot, the Four of Pentacles was my favourite card in that whole deck. That was my absolute favorite. I've even got a printout of it on my wall. Just love that. Absolutely in love with the Dark Mansion Tarot version of the Four of Coins. I really like this one as well. It's just beautiful. Look at it. Oh my god. Just sorry. I'm an enthusiast. I'm a tarot enthusiast. When I see quality decks, oh, you never get a happier person than I am. Really, it's just beautiful what they've done with this Four of Coins. I love the very kind of. He doesn't even look mean. He just looks very cautious and very... he almost looks like he doesn't trust anyone as well. He's holding on to all those coins. He's not even holding on to them. There's three behind him and he's got one in his hand. And he's got his foot on his jewellery as well. So he's very possessive, in other words. All I see is a very possessive guy here. The Five of Coins. It's very sad. There she is out in the cold all on her own. Financial difficulty is the Five of Coins. She's in despair. I love the way that they've depicted this. It's not just that we have 5 coins. We have it hanging on a tree. Trees usually for me represent health and things that flourish. The tree is completely bare. Completely bare. An unhealthy tree, 5 pentacles hanging off. It's almost like seeds have been planted but they've not flourished, they've not grown. An unhealthy harvest, as it were. The whole of the background here as well, tantamount to just complete destruction. It's almost like it's been a very poor harvest, not enough to eat. Financial lack, financial loss, but also pentacles represent food. So a lack of food or an unhealthy harvest, so she couldn't eat. No grain, no anything. Beautiful. But then receiving support. 6 of Coins, financial support, financial generosity, loans, grants. Really like this. He looks very happy to help. Stunning. This is definitely another one of my favourites in this deck. The 6 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I love the way that it's so obvious. You know, if you were to have this in a reading, it wouldn't be hard to... interpret what that card meant. Because they've depicted the imagery so clearly. Seven of Coins. I love the 7 of Coins because it's kind of twofold, isn't it? On the one hand, it almost feels like she's planted. These can either be seeds or they can be the fruits. So on the one hand, 7 of Coins can be you've planted the seeds and now you're taking the reward. But I notice Does she? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's seven coins on that tree. And they're all dangling via a rope. But yet she's not taking any. And it wouldn't matter what she took because they're all the same. So why is she not taking any? This must be about waiting. Waiting for the seeds to bear fruit. So I think she's waiting on here. Because she doesn't need to choose which coin she takes because they're all the same. She must be waiting. So obviously another meaning of the Seven of Pentacles isn't just about a healthy harvest. It's also about waiting for something to bear fruit, or taking a step back to review your actions. Maybe she's thinking to herself, do I need to invest any more time in this, or should I just wait for things to grow? The Eight of Pentacles, nice enough. Pleasant card. Nice. I like that. The Workman. Oh, Nine of Coins. Always been one of my favourite tarot cards. A beautiful, well-dressed woman in her garden. Where are the grapes? Are there any grapes? I can't see any. Can you guys see any grapes on this? I can't see any grapes. Usually she has grapes, doesn't she, in her garden? Again, a card about fruits of labour. But this is about financial gain. But as we know as well, the Nine of Coins is about comfort and material security. Personal material security and satisfaction. Escapism. Place of meditation, relaxation, a hotel, restaurant, whatever you want to call it. Alone time, financial independence. We could go on. She looks like she's got it all and she looks extraordinarily happy. And I love the way she's dressed as well. A very fine looking woman. Ten of Coins. This is the only one really for me so far in the deck that doesn't look particularly rider weighty. This looks like the Tree of Life. Page of Coins, student, learning how to look after one's resources, learning how to build their resources, learning how to look after your money. I love this depiction of the Page of Coins, beautiful. Knight of Coins, nice, pleasant, on a horse. Queen of Pentacles, I think she's so, oh man, when I saw this card, when I saw this Queen, I was like, yes. I was like, this is an amazing looking Queen. This is what I love about their work, so bold, the imagery is so bold. So bold, beautiful. Can you see how she's holding on to the necklace around her neck? Necklace around her neck, yeah. Holding on to this necklace here. Almost as a show of status. I can see the ring as well. It's almost like showing her status. But then the Queen of Coins has never really been known to be a show-off. That's the thing. So I think she's just proud of what she's achieved. I wonder why we've got dark clouds behind her though, which is interesting. And the King of Coins. Why do all these men look older than the Queens, man? Very interesting that they've got these dark clouds. They look so serious though. It would be nice if... the only cards that I actually see a little bit more of a smile on are the cups. I don't really see them on any of the other ones. I didn't really... They're very serious. That's the only thing. I think that the imagery is beautiful on these decks. On the Elemental Wisdom deck, I think it's beautiful. But sometimes it would be nice to have a little bit more animation in the characters. I think they managed to achieve that in the Dark Mansion Tarot. But in this particular deck, not so much. But it would have been nice just to have a little bit animation. There would be nothing wrong with having a bit more animation in this deck with some of the characters. But beautiful nevertheless. Swords. Now I've left swords last because whenever I go for a tarot deck, I always try and find the sword suit. So this is air, obviously. Because the air cards and the way that the air cards are always depicted within a deck, I always find to be the most interesting. Out of all of the elements, cups, wands, water, fire, earth, it is air that I'm most interested in, because I love the way that it's often depicted, and I just feel that, you know, I was really excited for the swords. So the Ace of Swords, beautiful. What I like about this is it just feels like it's cutting through the fog, because Ace of Swords is all about clarity. The Two of Swords. Two of Swords is, strong. So strong. And I love the red, because swords often indicate conflict and war. I can understand why they would have put red on their sword characters, but I love the way that she's depicted strong lines. When I saw the swords, because if you go onto their website and you want to check out what the cards look like before you purchase it, and you look at the swords, this is what got me really, it was the swords, if I'm being honest, it was the swords and the pentacles mostly that got me excited for this deck. For sure. Swords, if I get a deck and the swords aren't great, I'm like, not happy. This is so good. Love the Two of Swords on here. Three of Swords, your standard kind of bog off Three of Swords card. Nothing to really write home about, you know, nice enough. Four of Swords, pretty, again, nothing to write home about. It's self-explanatory, nice enough. Oh, now I loved the Five of Swords. And it's interesting, on their Five of Swords, we don't have your standard depiction. So we don't have the man or the woman, whoever it is, with a sword and then two people behind sort of scuttling away in the background. This card really does represent complete and utter devastation and defeat. You can see the bones and the blood and the snake. But then, I guess, whoever this lady is on the Six of Swords, she's moving away. If you can see here, can you see her moving away from the battle? There she is, moving away from the battle. She's even got the blood on the bottom of her dress there as well. So I love the way that the story could flow through these cards as well. That's awesome. Beautiful Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. Our resident robber. Thing is, he's got all seven swords. He's not actually left any behind, has he? So really, it's just a card about theft and deceit for me, because he's got everything. Usually on the Seven of Swords, he's got away with around 4 and left 3, or got 5 and left 2, but he's got all of them. Nice. Oh, I think the Eight of Swords lady looks very much like the lady in the Two of Swords in a way. She looks like she's got herself in even a bigger fix here. She's completely in red. Oh, I just love how they've depicted these sword people. Just gorgeous. It feels like there are more females in this deck. More images of females than there are males, which I find very interesting. I would wonder why they did that. But that's very nice. I wonder why they've put more females. Right, it's almost like the damsel in distress sort of thing. But nevertheless, she's completely bound. I mean, completely bound. She got her feet, though. She can walk. And there's a clear path that she can walk through. Swords are about the mental, aren't they, really? So there's a lot of fear based with the Eight of Swords, and the feeling that one cannot extricate oneself from negative thoughts, being bound by them. And look at the red that she's dressed in. Oh, Nine of Swords. It feels like it's the same woman from the Two of Swords right through. Again, that colour red against the greys and the purples and the blues. Oh, just the coloration on these cards is phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. Whoa. I am telling you something about these deck, man. I'm telling you. It's just... I mean, my twin sister doesn't read tarot. She rings me every morning to get her daily tarot reading or week ahead tarot reading. And when she saw the deck, she was like, I want it. I want one of these. Well, being my twin, I had to give her, because I was going to do a giveaway and give away one of the boxes, but she was like, I want it, so I had to end up giving it to her. And she loves this deck. Like, I gave her a few other decks and she gave them back saying, I don't use them. And I said, well, what about that other Elemental Wisdom tarot deck? And she said, no, I'm keeping that. It is truly stunning though. This is one of my favourite cards as well. And the 10. There she is, finished. She's done for. But they're not in her. Again, they're around her. So there's always salvation, I think, in these cards. There's always a way out. Let's have a look at the quartz now. The page. Nice. He looks like a bit of a cheeky chappy, does he not? In fact, he looks really cheeky to me. He looks like, and so, don't tell me what to do. No, I really like this. I love the little bit. I love the fashion on this deck as well. I love the little bit of armour here, but also the soft materials here at the same time. It's like he's just starting to learn how to earn his stripes as a soldier or something like that. He is a page, so he's not in full armour yet. He's still got a lot more to learn. The knight on an eagle, very nice. Defender of the realm. Oh, now this queen got me when I first saw on Taroteka's website the thumbnails for these cards, and I saw her. I was like, that's it, I'm getting this. And I had to wait a long time for the deck to come through, but when I got it, I was just like, she's coming with me. I'm in love. I'm just in love. I love what she's wearing. I love the dominance that she displays, and that is the Queen of Swords. She's no shrinking violet. She's ready to go to war. She's like ready when you are, love. You know, she's strong. She is not afraid to speak her truth. She's open. She's honest. That's who the Queen of Swords is. If you get a reverse, she's in. Well, she's something else. But in the upright, she's open. She's honest. She may be a little bit critical. Well, she can be a lot critical on it actually, but she doesn't mince her words at all. This is a very strong, very dominant female or male. But I also love the way that I love the outfit. This is something I would probably wear. Her outfit is just beautiful. And let's have a look finally at the king. Looks like an ex-boyfriend of mine actually. From years ago. And the ex-boyfriend actually was a King of Swords. He was a Gemini. Again, these bold lines, these strong kind of, and in fact they're actually not just bold, they're actually strong, very angular lines when you look at the swords and the way that they've been depicted. It's very angular the way that, and that's what they are. If you wanted to depict or look at, you know, how somebody looked, you got a sword character out, they'd probably have very high cheekbones, very structured faces, very slim body mass, six-pack but not particularly buff. That's probably your ones. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful depiction of the king. Love it. Strong, sturdy, opinionated, forthright. So guys, that is the review. What do you think? I personally think this is an awesome, awesome, awesome deck. Sorry, I keep repeating my words. But I do. I think it's a really, really awesome deck. I think it's really beautiful. Again, oh, I forgot to show you, didn't I? Gold gilding on the sides. There we go. Can you see that? Beautiful gold gilding. I'm not sure how long that's going to hold up. It's held up so far so good, but I can see just little flecks of chipping going on there. So yeah, that's the only thing. but it seems to be holding up okay. I've got a Shira Marchetti deck that I'm going to show you guys soon, and that's got a bit more chipping on it. But I love this deck. It was around nearly £80 for the deck and also for the postage. This must have come about 3 months later to me. It took a long time to arrive, a long time, but I'm not disappointed in it whatsoever. I think it's beautiful. I think it's well crafted. The only thing I would say, if I'm being completely honest, we do have black people depicted in the wands. I don't understand why they didn't depict other nationalities for other, you know, the other suits, the other elements. I think they could have done that. You know, I think all they needed to go with was the element of air, the element of fire, the element of water, and the element of earth. But I think that they could have really gone with other nationalities as well. It wouldn't have mattered if they wanted to depict other nationalities within those particular elements. I just feel it was a little bit kind of cut and dried, black for one area, and then near enough, you know, Caucasian for the rest. And all the way through the majors as well. So that's the only thing I would say. I think it needed just a little bit more diversity. I feel certainly in terms of the ethnic representation within the deck, it needed a little bit more. We just had cut and dried white or black, and I just think, yeah, needed to be a bit more diverse. But other than that, I think the imagery is beautiful. I think the illustrations, wow, the coloration on the card, the attention to detail in terms of these characters, the way that they're drawn, the way that they're painted. It obviously took a long time to come to fruition. These people are not playing. Again, they're not messing about. They're not giving crap. They're giving full quality on these decks. Right down to the stock, the card stock, stunning, just stunning card stock, beautiful. I would probably give, out of 10, what would I give the deck? I would give the deck probably a good old 8 out of 10. Excellent, just needed to be a little bit more diverse, but other than that, stunning deck and well worth the well worth how much it costs, for sure. Alright guys, next review coming up is going to be the Cosmic Cycles Tarot, which is this one here. So keep your eyes out for that one. Really looking forward to it. Speak soon. Bye-bye.